Okay, here we have some old baseball cards, and they're all predated before 1972. They may have continued their career, but these cards only go to 1972. So here we have Jim Nettles, Minnesota Twins. He was an outfielder. His career started in 1968 to 1972. He played for St. Cloud, Charlotte, Evansville, Twins, Portland, and Twins. A lot of them do go back and forth. Here we have Joe Decker, Minnesota Twins. He was a pitcher for them, 1965 to 1972. Tress Valley, Lodi, Tacoma, Cubs, San Antonio, back to the Cubs, back to Tacoma, back to the Cubs, then Wichita, then back to the Cubs. And even though this is the Twins, they didn't write that on the back. But you can see he's with the Twins. Okay, then we have Jim Perry, Minnesota Twins, and he was a pitcher. 1956 to 1972. No plate. Then it has FAR dot MOOR dot. I have no idea what that means. So if you do, go ahead and leave it in a comment. Then he played for Readings, Indians, and then the Twins. Okay, this one is in a plastic little case. This is the way I bought them at a yard sale. So I'm going to keep them in the case so they stay in perfect condition. This must be a reason for that. This is Mickey Lolich, Detroit Tigers. He was a pitcher, 1959 to 1972 as far as these cards go. Knoxville, Durham, back to Knoxville, back to Durham, back to Knoxville, back to Durham, Denver, Portland, Syracuse, and Tigers. Quite the fella, huh? He was important. Okay, here we have Dick McAuliffe, Detroit Tigers, second base, 1959 to 1972. (1957 to 1972). Erie, Valdosta, Augusta, Knoxville, Durham, back to Knoxville, Tigers, Denver, and Tigers. Second baseman. Alright. There's another one that was in its plastic case that we'll keep it there. Orlando Kipida from the Oakland A's. First base. 1958 to 1972. He played for the Giants, Cardinals, the Braves, and the A's. All right. Then we have Gene Tenace, Oakland A's, first base, 1965 to 1972. Shelby Lessenberg, Peninsula, back to Lessenberg, back to Peninsula, Sula, whatever, Sula. Brigham, the A's, then he went to Iowa, and then back to the A's. All right. Must have liked it there, huh? Then we have Larry Dierker, Houston Astros. He was a pitcher. 1964 to 1972. He played for, and this is funny, Cocoa Colts. I wonder if that's the name it was before they changed it to Colts 45s. So if you know that the team was first called Cocoa Colts, then went to Colts 45s, let me know. Leave it in a comment. Be interesting to find out, because the names are kind of close, so you'd think they're familiar. So maybe they were actually the same team, just renamed the team. So let me know if you know. Okay. Then he went to, of course, the Astros. Okay. Cesar Cedeno, Houston Astros, outfielder. 1968 to 1972. Covington, Cocoa, Peninsula, Orlando City, and the Astros. Okay, then we have here Roger Metzger, Houston Astro, shortstop. 1969 to 1972. He played for Tacoma, the Cubs, and then the Astros. Really nice. Then we have right here Tom Griffin, Houston Astros. He was a pitcher. Look at him pitch. Whew. Look at that. All right. 1966 to 1972. It has BIS. Mandan, Amarillo, Oklahoma City, Asheville, back to Oklahoma City, Astros, back to Oklahoma City, back to Astro, back to Oklahoma City, and back to Astro. Boy, he really liked these two teams. He kept going back and forth all the time. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. Bye-bye now. Okay, here we have some old baseball cards. They're all dated up to 1972. So they may have continued their career, but 1972 is as far as these cards go. First we have Ron Bryant, San Francisco Giants. He was a pitcher. His career was 1965 to 1972. He may have continued after 72. That'll be the same with all these cards. He played for Magic Valley, Decatur, Fresno, Giants, Amarillo, Phoenix, back to Giants, back to Phoenix, then back to Giants. Next we have Fran Haley, San Francisco Giant. He was a catcher. Started at 1965. Of course, the cards only go to 1972. He played for Dubuque, Pawtucket, Waterbury, Omaha, Royals, back to Omaha, then to the Giants. Here we have Tom Bradley, San Francisco Giant. He was a pitcher. His career started in 1969. This goes to 1972. Davenport, El Paso, San Jose, Hawaii, Angels, back to El Paso, back to Hawaii, back to the Angels, and then the White Sox. Here we have Gary Maddox, San Francisco Giant. He was an outfielder. 1968 to 1972. Played for Salt Lake City, Fresno. Then he went in the military for a couple of years. Then back to Fresno, Phoenix, and the Giant. It's the first card from way back then that I've come across that has the time lapse that they went into the military, which is really nice to see. Okay, and here's the whole team of the San Francisco Giant. Nice card, isn't it? Okay, then we have Lloyd Allen, California Angels. He was a pitcher. (1968 to 1972). That's as far as these cards go. Idaho Falls, San Jose, Hawaii, Angels, El Paso, then back to the Angels. Okay, then we go to Jim Spencer, California Angels, first baser. (1965 to 1972). It says O apostrophe D cities. Not quite sure what that is. El Paso, Angels, Hawaii, then back to the Angels. Then we have Billy Grabakowitz, California Angels. He was the third baseman. 1966 to 1972. Tri-City, Santa Barbara, Albuquerque, then the Dodgers. Funny how in the back they don't say then the Angels, because he played for the Angels, as you can see. Okay, then we have Bob Oliver, California Angels, first base. 1963 to 1972, as far as these cards go. Gastonia, Kingston, Asheville, Patriots, Columbus, back to Asheville, Macon, Denver, Omaha, Royals. That's all it says in the back of the card, but as you can see, he played for the California Angels. All right. And here we have Al Kaline, Detroit Tigers. He was an outfielder. (1953 to 1972). And believe it or not, this guy only played for one team, the Tigers. Can you imagine having such a long career and only play for one team? That's the first card that I've come across. That's an old card, that he only played one team. 1953 to 1972. Cool. Okay, Mickey Lolich, Detroit Tigers. He was a pitcher. 1959 to 1972. Knoxville, Durham, back to Knoxville, back to Durham, Denver, Portland, Syracuse, and Tigers. Lauren LeGros, Detroit Tigers. He was a pitcher. 1969 to 1972. Played for Montgomery, Tigers, Toledo, then back to the Tigers. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and if you wish, you may always sub me so I can find some more of these beautiful cards and bring them right to you. Okay, more videos. Bye-bye. Okay, we have some baseball cards here, and they're all dated before 1972. They may have continued their career, but these cards only go in the back talking about their career till 1972. So here we have Danny Ozark, Philadelphia Phillies manager. He played 17 years in the OB, and he lived in Florida. Okay. Next we have Steve Carlton, Philadelphia Phillies, and he was a pitcher. 1964 to 1972. He played Rock Hill, Winnipeg, Tulsa, Cardinals, back to Tulsa, back to Cardinals, then the Phillies. Then we have Darrell Brandon, Philadelphia Phillies. He was a pitcher. 1959 to 1972, he played Salem, Dayton, Modesto, Durham, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Red Sox, Louisville, back to Red Sox, Vancouver, Pilots, Tucson, Twins, Denver, Tucson, and Phillies. That's Tucson twice. Okay. Don Money, Milwaukee Brewers, third base. 1965 to 1972. Salem, Clinton, Raleigh, Phillies, San Diego, then back to Phillies. Then we have Rick Urbash, Milwaukee Brewers, shortstop. (1969 to 1972). Played for Billings, Clinton, Portland, Evansville, and Brewers. And we have Brooke Davis, Milwaukee Brewers, an outfielder. 1963 to 1972. Colt 45s, S. Antonio, back to Colt 45, back to S. Antonio, Amarillo, Oklahoma City, Astros, Amarillo, Oklahoma City again, Davin Fort Worth, San Antonio, Tacoma, Clubs, back to Tacoma, back to clubs, and ended up brewer. Okay, look at this one. What a good picture, huh? Wow, that's a great card. Action. Woo! Frank Duffy, Cleveland Indians, shortstop. 1968 to 1972, Asheville, Indianapolis, Reds, Giants, and the Indians. What a great picture, huh? Look at that. Good one. Okay, here we have Ray Lamb, Cleveland Indians, a pitcher. 1966 to 1972, Tri-City, Albuquerque, Spokane, Dodgers, then the Indians. Then we have Don Money, Milwaukee Brewers, third base. 1965 to 1972, he played Salem, Clinton, Raleigh, San Diego, and then the Phillies. They never said Brewer in the back of the card, but yet Milwaukee Brewers is the picture that ended. Interesting, isn't it? That's something to check out. Okay, and the last one here is Oscar Gamble, Cleveland Indians. He was an outfielder. 1965 to 1972, Cladwell, San Antonio, Cubs, Urgent, Phillies, then back to Urgent. Then again, that one also didn't say Indians, Cleveland Indians. And it should have ended with that. Alright. Hope you've enjoyed my bringing these cards to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and you can always fan fund me. Then I can bring you some more of these beautiful videos and old cards. Alright, bye-bye now. Okay, here we have some baseball cards. They're all dated up to 1972. They may have continued their career after that, but these cards only go to 1972. Okay, here we have Bob Beal, Boston Red Sox. He was a pitcher, and his career was from 1958 to 1972. He may have continued, but I only have to that. He played Las Vegas, Wilson, Columbus, Pirates, Columbus, Pirates, Charleston, and then the Red Sox. So that's the lineup of how his career went. Next we have Rico Petrosoli, third baseman, Boston Red Sox, 1962 to 1972. Winsale, Reading, Red Sox, Seattle, and then the Red Sox again. Then we have Ben Oglive, Boston Red Sox. He was an outfielder. 1968 to 1972. Jamestown, Greenville, Winhave, Pawtucket, Louisville, and then the Red Sox. We have Danny Carter, Boston Red Sox, first base. (1958 to 1972). John City, Bakersfield, Winsport, Buffalo, Arkansas, Phillies, White Sox, A's, Yankees, then the Red Sox. Next we have Borg Powell's, Baltimore Orioles, first base. 1959 to 1972. Bluefield, Fox City, Rochester, and the Orioles. Whew, that's a hard one for me to say. Okay, then we have Grant Jackson, Baltimore Orioles. He was a pitcher. Very good. 1967 to 1972. Bakersfield, Chattanooga, Eagan, Arkansas, Phillies, San Diego, Phillies, and Orioles. Next we have Don Baylor, Baltimore Orioles. He was an outfielder. Bluefield, Stockton, Amara, Rochester, Miami, Dallas-Fort Worth, Rochester, Orioles, Rochester, and Orioles. They changed, different teams they were on. And that's the way it goes. Go with the money. Okay, then we have Gary Glentree, Atlanta Braves, and he was a pitcher. (1967 to 1972). Williamsport, Jacksonville, and the Mets. Then we have Terry Crowley from the Baltimore Orioles. He was an outfielder. 1966 to 1972. Miami, Almira, Rochester, Orioles, Rochester, then back to Orioles. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more. And if you want, you can always fan fund me. Bye-bye now. Okay, here we have Mike Corkins from San Diego Padres. He's a pitcher. His card here is from 1965 to 1972. All these cards only go to 1972. He played for Lexington, Waterboro, Fresno, Elmira, Padres, Salt Lake City, back to Padres, Hawaii, then back to Padres. So, he liked going back. Okay, Here we have Lou Brook, St. Louis Cardinals. He was an outfielder. And this card is from 1961 to 1972. He played for St. Cloud, Cubs, and Cardinals. Here we have Tim McCarver, St. Louis Cardinals. He was a catcher. This is from 1959 to 1972. He played Rochester, Keokuk, Cardinals, Memphis, back to Cardinals, Charleston, back to Cardinals, Atlanta, back to Cardinals, Phillies, and Expo. Next we have Carl Morton, Montreal Expos. He was a pitcher. This is from 1967 to 1972. You get to see all the scores and everything in the back. That's what's behind the cards. He played for Kingston, Shreveport, Vancouver, and Expo. Next we have Clyde Mashore, Montreal Expo. Outfield. This is 1964 to 1972. He played for CED.RAP. Peninsula, Knoxville, Peninsula, back to Knoxville, Buffalo, Indianapolis, Reds, back to Indianapolis, Winnipeg, then Expo. This guy here, boy, I tell ya, he must have been something. He went around. Vince Romo, San Diego Padres. He was a pitcher. His card is from 1962 to 1972. He went Aguascalientes, Mex Tigers, Portland, back to Mex Tigers, back to Portland, Dodgers, back to Portland, Indians, Red Sox, then tried the White Sox out. Okay, this one here is Boots Day, Montreal Expo, an outfielder. This is 1966 to 1972. Rock Hill, St. Peter's, Arkansas, Tulsa, Cardinals, Cubs, Winnipeg, and Expo. So he made the rounds. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and you can always fan fund me so I can bring more of this right to you. Bye-bye now. Today we're going to show you some old baseball cards. Okay, first we have Lenny Randall, who's a second base, Texas Ranger. His career, well, my cards only go to 1972, so these are all before 1972. So from 1970 to 1972, he played for Denver, Senators, Ranger, and then back to the Denver. Next we have Richard Hand, Texas Ranger. He was a pitcher. And this card goes from 1969 to 1972. He played for Portland, Indians, Wichita, back to Indians, and then the Rangers. Next we have Eddie Leon, Chicago White Sox, second base. This card goes from 1967 to 1972. He played for Pawtucket, Portland, Indians, back to Portland, then back to the Indians. This is Dick Allen, Chicago White Sox, first base. He played for Elmira, T.W. Falls, Wind Sports, Arkansas, Phillies, Cardinals, Dodgers, and then the White Sox. Here we have Lee Lacy, Los Angeles Dodgers, second base. This card goes from 1969 to 1972. Ogden, Bakersfield, Albuquerque, El Paso, then to the Dodgers. Next we have Bob Tulin, Cincinnati Reds. He was an outfielder. This card goes from 1963 to 1972. He played Reno, Tulsa, Jacksonville, Cardinals, back to Tulsa, back to Cardinals, and ended with the Reds. Here we have Sparky Lee, New York Yankees. He was a pitcher. This card goes from 1964 to 1972. He went Bluefields, Fox Cities, Winston-Salem, Pittsfield, Toronto, Red Sox, and ended with the Yankees. Okay, then we have Willie Stargell, Pittsburgh Pirates, Pittsburgh Pirates, first base. (1959 to 1972), Roswell, Grand Forks, Asheville, Columbus, and the Patriots, first baser. Then we have, right here, Freddie Patix, Kansas City Royals, shortstop. This card goes from 1966 to 1972. Gastonia, Columbus, Asheville, back to Columbus, Patriots, and Royals. Alright, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these old baseball cards to you. Stay tuned for more. Be sure to sub me. And if you wish, you can always fan fund me. Bye-bye now.